Hello everyone. Today's session we will be taking you through the entire process of formal assessment and certification so that you are clear about the process, what it entails, how one has to prepare for it. So it's a guidance for formal certification process. We have already understood that CADCF offers certification at 3 levels. It's basic, advanced, and leadership levels. We have also discussed in the past what exactly should be the kind of experience that one should have before one applies for formal assessment and certification. Let's first understand how you should go about preparing for the formal assessment and certification. You should first review the available learning resources which are there on the portal of CADCF itself. Now that you are a formal member of the portal, you will be having access to all the learning modules which have been uploaded there. You must also go through the complete standard, the CADCF standard itself, which is again available for you to view, and you must go through the competencies which have been listed out there and then study the attributes which are required for each competency for the level of certification that you plan to apply for. For example, if you want to go for the basic level certification, then you must go through the entire table of basic level competencies. You also have 2 self-assessments available once you are into the portal. So they are fairly elaborate in terms of the number of questions, although they are all objective type of questions. But the first one is around 150 questions, which covers all the competencies for all the levels, that is basic, advanced, and leadership. And the second assessment goes into almost doubling up those questions. Now what happens here is when you go through so many questions, you get a fairly good understanding of the kind of expectations that may be there in the actual assessment. Although the formal assessment is not having only objective type of questions, but also the subjective type. But answering so many questions gives you a fairly good idea of what it entails. And finally, what we would recommend is that you must try to source and study from the learning resources which are available currently on internet, in libraries, etc. Because that will really strengthen your preparation for the formal assessment. And lastly, while you are preparing for the formal assessment, you must be already in your teaching assignments wherever you are. So we would suggest that as you go through the competencies, you must try to apply some of the principles that are being talked about, some of the techniques which are being talked about, because then you would have actually done it and you are in a very strong position to be able to respond to various types of questions, whether they are theoretical questions or they are interview questions or whatever they may be. So the formal assessment overview, very quickly: theoretical assessments, objective and subjective questions. Then you will be asked to give a live demo of a complete classroom session, which is typically done online. In case you are applying for a simulator endorsement, that means you want to be certified to be able to teach in a simulator program, then you will also be expected to give a demo of the briefing and debriefing sessions of any simulator exercise that you may be conducting at your institute. And finally, you will have to come to an interview session with a panel of assessors to kind of sum up the whole thing. So let me just take you into detail of each of these steps now. So the theoretical assessment, objective questions and subjective questions, approximately around 32 in each of them. Why? Because almost 16 competencies require assessment to be done also in a theoretical manner. So that's why we are hoping that you will probably get around 32 odd questions. It could be a few more, a few less, The time allocated will be approximately 3 hours. It is an online test. So whether it is objective type of questions or subjective, you will be answering online, and the test actually is a proctored test. So you will be required to complete the assessment in the given span of time. And the passing criteria is 50% in each competency, and overall you must score a minimum of 75%. So it is expected that a faculty member who is applying for basic, advanced or leadership levels is fairly thorough with these competencies and the expectations which are defined in the CADCF. Then comes a demo live lecture session. First, the technology aspects, because it is meant to be an online session. The IT arrangement has to have 2 machines. It could be desktops, laptops or mobile devices. Choice could be yours. Idea is that the faculty and the students, both views must be available in that live session. And this session, which will be either on Zoom or Team platforms, will be recorded. So if you look at some of the pictures here, show an actual classroom demo where even the presentation is available because it is happening on a Zoom where screen is being shared. The faculty is clearly visible and the students are also visible. So somewhat like this would be the arrangement. Now, from the academic aspects, the faculty under assessment may be asked to submit the lesson plan that one is following for that particular session. And it is expected that faculty under evaluation will aim to cover all the attributes defined in the CADCF standard which are related to effective delivery. So that is quite clear from the standard itself. The opening session, main delivery, closing the session, interaction during delivery, all these are attributes that would be under surveillance, one could say. If evaluation is also being done for simulator training, then we will probably ask you to provide the demo of briefing and debriefing for simulator exercises. Again, the minimum score here is expected to be 3.5 on a Likert scale of 1 to 5. So that's the demo part. Then comes the interview with a panel of assessors. Here, interview will be based on a written examination that you have undergone, the demo sessions. In case you have gone for simulator briefing and debriefing, that session also would be taken into consideration. And if any special assignment was given to you as felt necessary by the assessors, even that would be discussed. And in general, based on the kind of responses that come from the person being assessed, further questions may be asked. Again, the aim would be to cover all the main competencies for which the certification is being awarded. That's what the assessors would do. And minimum passing score is again a 3.5 on a Likert scale of 1 to 5. So as far as the duration of the entire assessment process is concerned, it may take anywhere between 7 to 14 days. The reason being is that each step, the written examination, the evaluation of the written examination paper, which is of course online, but that takes some time, followed by the demo sessions, which is arranged on a particular day convenient to the faculty, who's teaching and also the assessor's availability. Then similarly, the simulator briefing and debriefing, depending on the availability of both parties, if that is applicable. And finally, the interview process. So each step takes place on a particular day, lasts about 2 to 3 to 4 hours max. But overall, the entire process, you could say, takes about 8 hours. That is one complete day. But it is spread over almost 3 to 4 sessions. Thank you very much. We hope this presentation provides you clear guidelines as to what is the entire process of assessment for a formal certification and what can be expected from you. Thank you very much.